Hi, this is Daniel Alpine, animation historian, and welcome to the first episode of a new series, Animation Account. In this, I will be discussing certain people that have had a significant impact on the world of animation, past and present. For the first episode, I will be discussing one of the early pioneers of animation voice acting, Jack Mercer, which any cartoon nerd out there would tell you he was and still is the definitive voice of Popeye the Sailor. Jack Mercer was born in New York City on January 1910. His father was a vaudeville actor. As an adult, Jack Mercer would soon work for the Fleischer Animation Studios, first as an in-betweener, and soon after that, a story artist. The Popeye the Sailor cartoons first started in 1933, and the first voice of the character was a vaudeville actor named William Costello, also known as Red Pepper Sam. And what he had was a real gruff sound to his voice, which was perfectly suitable for the character. But soon, William Costello proved to be difficult to work with. And it's said it was because after the series proved to be a hit, he started to become self absorbed. And after 26 cartoons, he was dismissed, and a new voice for the character had to be found. And it so happened that Jack Mercer had a real knack for mimicking other people, and he would soon start to mimic William Costello's voice of Popeye. And one night in his house, his voice cracked and it had a sort of unusual higher pitch to it. And one day at the studio, Lou Fleischer overheard Jack Mercer sing the Popeye the Sailor theme song. And he said, There, you are the new voice of Popeye. And Jack Mercer accepted. The debut of Jack Mercer as the voice of Popeye was in the 1935 cartoon King of the Mardi Gras, and when he took over as the voice of the character, it said that that's when Popeye really started to become, well, a fully fledged character because not only could Jack Mercer do the voice of the character, he was able to act with it and brought more emotion to Popeye that William Costello didn't really do before. And also, since Jack Mercer was a story artist, he was also gifted at ab-libbing, which, if anyone has seen an old Fleischer Studios Popeye cartoon, would see that whenever the character is not talking, or at least his mouth is not moving, Popeye still does what are called under the breath muttering. An interesting story is that when the Fleischers moved from New York City to Miami, Florida in 1938, Jack Mercer joined them, but the original voice of Olive Oil, May Questel, refused to leave, and after the move, Margie Hines took over as the voice of Olive Oil. And in 1939, which was the year of the third and final two-reeler Popeye cartoons, Aladdin and His Wonderful Lamp, Jack Mercer would marry Margie Hines, and the two would still be married until 1950 when the two divorced. After that, he took a second wife named Virginia Carroll. For the Fleischer Studios' first feature film, Gulliver's Travels, Jack Mercer would actually do the voice of 5 different characters in the film. And for the studio's second feature film, Mr. Bug Goes to Town, Jack Mercer was the voice of Swat the Fly and Mr. Bumble. Another interesting story is that Jack Mercer was soon drafted into the army during World War II, and other voices had to be done for the Popeye cartoons. One of the voices was Harry Foster, and one that should surprise you is the original voice of Olive Oil, Mae Questel. After the war, and after Paramount seized control of the Fleischer Studios and rebranded as Famous Studios, Jack Mercer still continued to star as the voice of Popeye until the end of the series in 1957. Even after the end of Paramount's theatrical cartoons, Jack Mercer still continued voice work. In the late 50s, Jack Mercer started to work for television, both as a prolific writer for Paramount's cartoons and also a lot of other different series. One of Jack's earlier work for television was performing all the voices of the 1958 Felix the Cat television series. And, of course, he would return as the voice of Popeye for the 1960s animated television series that King Features started. And it should not be surprising that Jack was also the voice of the animated Popeye that opened the 1980 live action film before it swapped to live action, and the rest of the film was Robin Williams as Popeye. The last time Jack Mercer was the voice of Popeye was in the early 1980s when Hanna-Barbera produced a new Saturday morning cartoon series of Popeye. Jack Mercer soon passed on in 1984, while other veteran voice actors such as Maurice LaMarche, Billy West, and Tom Kenny have all performed the voice of the sailor. Still, to everyone, these people have come close, but Jack Mercer will still be number one. And in that, happy birthday, Jack Mercer. So that's all for now, and I'll be seeing ya.